Sherri Shepherd is an Emmy Award-winning and NAACP Image Award-winning TV personality, talk show host, actress, comedian, and author. She is most known for co-hosting on the daytime talk show The View and now her own talk show, Sherri. Sherri has starred in award-winning films such as Netflix's Straw, The Way Out, Abducted, The Carolina White Story, and Precious. Sherri debuted as an author in 2009 with Permission Slips, a novel about breaking free from the pressures of marriage, motherhood, and employment. And then in 2013 with Plan D, a self-help book about her personal journey with weight loss and pre-diabetes management. Today, Sherri joins us as a New York best-selling author and debuts her first children's book, The Sunshine Queen, which aims to encourage young girls to support each other. So let's give a warm welcome to Sherri Shepherd.
Hi, everybody. Oh my, or I should say, hey, family. Oh my goodness, thank you so much for coming out tonight. I'm so appreciative because you could have been doing anything tonight and you chose to come and just hang with me for a little bit. So I really, really appreciate you coming out. We got a little one up there, right there. How old is she? Oh, 2. Oh my goodness. Hey, y'all. And thank you for coming. This is my first children's book, The Sunshine Queens. I have 2 other books. My first children's book, and I have 2 other ones. One is called Permission Slips, Every Woman's Guide to Giving Herself a Break. And then my second book, which was on the New York Times bestseller, was called Plan D, How to Lose Weight and Beat Diabetes, Even If You Don't Have It. And I'm very excited about this children's book because the Sunshine Queens came about. In my life, I call them my Sunshine Queens because they're my girlfriends who have been with me through we've been together through thick and thin. I wouldn't be where I am today without my girls. And so I took a lot of these stories as an adult and put them into a format for a 4 to 8-year-old. Because I feel in this day and age, young girls need to know the power of who they are. They need to know their self-worth. They need to know no is important to be able to say. They need to know how to advocate. And they need to know that a lot of that comes from being friends. Stand up, TJ. This is one of my Sunshine Queens right here who I dedicated the book to. Her name is TJ Mercer. And we've been rocking together for how long, TJ? About 25 years. So most of my queens, I've known, one of them, it goes back to 6th grade. And like I said, TJ is so special to me, a couple things, because when I was trying to get a talk show and everybody kept saying no to me. No, you're not enough. No, you're not pretty enough. No, you're too big. You're too little. You can't cook. Every answer was you are not enough. And so TJ she was an editor for a lot of Hollywood films that you've seen and TV shows that you've seen. And she was moving to Atlanta. And we were gonna have breakfast. And she said to me, I was so down because I said, nobody wants to give me a talk show. And she said, why do you have to keep asking for permission to have a talk show? So that's when I started my podcast, Two Funny Mamas, with my girlfriend, one of my other Sunshine Queens, Kim Whitley. 3 NAACP Image Awards later, we have this podcast. So that was one of the women who was always, there encouraging me to not to rely on other people. And she's one of the women that when my first day, when I did a talk show, when they gave me my talk show called Sherri, she was right in the audience going, and did. And so that's, having this woman in my life along with my other Sunshine Queens, like I said, is really why I'm here today, because they have shown me. I know, and a man, I'm not down in men. I love men. Men are amazing. But there's certain things that a woman just knows. She knows how to uplift you. She knows how to encourage you. You got your queens that are bossy. You got the ones that'll give you Bible scriptures. And TJ is this is another. You got your friends who they so close to God. They got that lifeline to God. And I didn't want to move to New York when they offered me the talk show because my village. My son is on the spectrum. My village was in L.A. And she came. She said, God told me this. I had to get out the shower. And she said, God said to tell you, New York is not for you, it's for Jeffrey. That's where he will find his independence. And then she said, God said to tell you, who knows Jeffrey best, his mother or the one who created him? That's a queen that I cherish being in my life. And so with this book, and by the way, because I just have to give TJ her flowers, she's an alum of Howard University at HBCU. And if any one of y'all have seen me play on Celebrity Jeopardy, and I'm the lowest winner in the history of Jeopardy. I think somebody had 8,500, somebody might have had 20,000. I had $75. But I smiled on Jeopardy like I had $100,000. And it was because when you do game shows, sometimes they will give you a certain amount of money for the charity of your choice. And I was playing for TJ Mercer's charity. It's called Moving Day Mafia. And this is where she takes foster kids who have aged out of the foster care system, but they get scholarships to HBCUs. And a lot of people don't know when they drop off the foster kids, they don't have parents to give them bedspreads and posters and computers. They are dropped off with the clothes on their back and in the garbage bag. And that's it. The HBCU pays for their books. They pay for the room and board. That's it. So her organization, Moving Day Mafia, she pledges to take care of them from freshman year to senior year so they don't have to worry about and stress because a lot of times they drop out of college because they can't join athletics, they can't do anything. They got to worry about sanitary products, a blanket, linen. And so so if you want to look for an organization to align yourself with, my Sunshine Queen, it's called Moving Day Mafia, where she pledges to take care of the foster kids who are in HBCUs until they are seniors to graduate and become better, and I don't know what I'm saying, but to become better, I don't want to say better people, but, where they can contribute. So, we're that for each other. And I played, I'm a queen for her. I got on that daggone Jeopardy knowing good and daggone well I was supposed to be on Jeopardy. That is not my forte. I couldn't hit that button. But all I kept thinking about was my queen. This is what I'm doing for her, this organization. When I go on Family Feud, I go, this is my Sunshine Queen. I am that for her in her life. And I wanted little girls to know that you can do things by yourself, but it's so much better when you have your other girls next to you. It's like a twofold cord. You've heard that. And it was that in Habakkuk 11, I don't know the scripture. That is what? Habakkuk. Oh, it was Habakkuk. It was Habakkuk. Okay. Sometimes I'll be on a wing and a prayer with these scriptures. It is Habakkuk. What's the name? What was the scripture? Habakkuk. He know my heart. Oh my gosh. But where it says you can do it by yourself, but two or more are stronger together. And that's what I wanted little girls to know, because you got to start early. And I wanted to plant that seed with the Sunshine Queens. And I wanted it also, it was so important to me to have them see girls that look like them. I wanted them to be able to see braids and ponytails. And, and I have my one girlfriend who's in here, her name is Sally. She's Puerto Rican, so she's my little Boricua. And this is what she looks like. And I wanted them to be able to look and say, that looks like me. Because the reason why I have a talk show is I saw Oprah Winfrey. And I said, that lady looks like me. We look like we could be cousins. And we have the same skin color. We got the same hair. That's before we both started wearing wigs. We had the same hair. I wanted to be an actress because my parents took me to see Stephanie Mills in The Wiz. when I was a little girl. And because I saw that lady on stage, I had bobby socks on and my little Mary Janes and my hair in two ponytails. I saw her. I didn't know how to articulate it, but I wanted to do what she did. And when I played the evil stepmother in Cinderella and Kiki Palmer was my daughter, I stood on that stage and cried because it was Stephanie Mills who planted the seed. So representation was so important. When Stephanie Mills came on my show a few weeks ago, I cried like a baby because I was able to tell her, you are the reason that I am an actress today, Stephanie Mills. You don't even know when you sang Home. And then Whoopi Goldberg, when I saw her prance across the stage and do stand-up comedy, she planted that seed in me to do stand-up comedy. So I worked with Tanisha, who did these amazing, if anybody has the book, it's so colorful and bright, and these girls have different types of hair, they have different types of clothing, they're all brown, and I wanted them to be able to see that and say, that's me, that's me. And so it's just, their characters are kind of taken from my girlfriends and put into these characters. So that was really important to me. It takes place in Harlem because I'm a Harlem girl. So that's where I live, and I wanted the brownstones to be shown. I wanted that texture in the book. And so I'm pretty proud of the book, The Sunshine Queens, and I hope that little girls look at it and say, well, I know they do, because when I was talking to some young girls before, I asked them what did they want to be, because I want little girls to dream big. And some said they wanted to draw, just like what was on The Sunshine Queen. Some said that they wanted to write. And one little 4-year-old girl stood up and she said, well, Miss Sherri, I'm quite the comedian myself. And I like making people laugh in my classroom. And when I tell you that touched my heart, because nobody has ever said to me, a little girl, that she wants to be a comedian. And that made me so happy. So I'm really glad that I wrote this. I'll be working, some people have asked me if I'm going to do one for boys. And what'd you say, Mama? She said, oh, I hear you. What's your name? Kamaya. I like that name, Kamaya. You're going to do great things with that name, Kamaya. I love it. Kamaya. She's like, I know. I know. I ain't working on a boys' book. The boys' book would have come out first when I showed it to my 20-year-old. He was like, yeah, bro, well, whatever. You know, my little self-esteem went through the floor because these boys, whatever, bro. If he says bro one more time. But the next book about a boy is going to be Jeffrey and the DJ machine, because Jeffrey loves to play the little turntable, Jeffrey and the magic turntable, because Jeffrey is on the spectrum. And the book has Jeffrey with big glasses falling on his nose, and he's got a group of friends that are all special and unique, but sometimes they get bullied. And he's in the alley in Chicago. I'm from Chicago. He's in the alley, and he finds a turntable that's all broken and dusty, and the record is broken up, and he puts it on with the strap, and all of a sudden it lights up, and it takes them places where they learn about history. It takes them to the Wild Wild West. That's the first thing, where they learned that they were black cowboys, and the girls learned that they were cowgirls, and they were black, and they learn about the history, and they learn some life lessons until they hear Jeffrey's mother go, it's time to come in the house, and the turntable takes them back to Chicago, where they get to apply those life lessons, and they learn that they really are special and they really are unique. So that is Jeffrey and his magic turntable. That's the next one that I'm working on. So I will have something for boys. Because again, like I said, right now, in this climate that we're going through, the children have to be protected. And they have to know that so many things are being pulled away where they're not going to learn the way we learned. And so it's up to us to teach them. And my little part, I just want them to know that they are loved, they are seen. And from books like this and other books that have been written, that they will see that they are special. So that is why there's not a lot of kids here, so I'm not going to read the book. Maybe I can read a couple pages for some of the, okay. You said what? So she's going to get a book. Yeah, so I'm going to read a couple pages because there are some children here. But and I see one with the bows in her hair. I don't. Is she wearing glasses? She's not wearing glasses. Oh, that's a little. That's her little. That's the beret. Boy, I remember them berets. You remember going to church and the berets weigh more than your head? Them big ponytail rings that you have in your hair. Oh my God, you be like, Mama, my head. What's your name? Oh, it's okay. Mila. Mila, it's nice to meet you. I love that smile. I see Mila and I see someone up there. Okay, and I see a couple little boys over in the audience too. Thank you, sirs. I appreciate y'all. Look at it. Look at the boys. Stop looking at me. And that's okay because I know y'all have cousins and brothers and sisters. Hey, ladies, thank you so much for coming in. So anyway, I have to put on my glasses because I read for some kids before, and they wanted me to read, and I couldn't read nothing. You know what I did? I recited Maya Angelou for the whole book. I was making up stuff in the book because I couldn't read anything. And the little boy, Eli, said, we can't see. And I'm like, me neither. So I got to, well, I'm killing with you, huh? Kamaya, you need to come to my comedy club. Which, by the way, I'm going on a 20-city comedy tour starting in January, and I will be back here at the Buckhead Theater May 16th. So, don't clap, Kamaya. You can't come. I'm grown. You can't bring Kamaya. I might do a 12 o'clock p.m. for the kiddies, but for the most part, this grown woman stuff that I got to talk about. Like, Kamaya don't need to know about hot flashes. She don't need to know about hormones. She don't need to know Spanx is just hurting me right now. Look, I am killing with Kamaya. Can I borrow her for a week? She is good for the self-esteem. Hello, everybody. Oh, my gosh. A whole new world. I can see texture and color, and oh, my gosh, thank you. This is the Sunshine Queens. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out where should we go. Let me see. Okay, here we go. So Chloe had been pacing the floor ever since she finished in Zara's chair. Though she looked the part, she didn't feel it. She always got the jitterbugs right before a performance. You got this, Chloe, she said to herself, shaking the nervousness from her hands. Jade, sensing that Chloe could use a hug, stopped blow-drying her hair and walked over. You're gonna do great. The other girls in Honey, who was now in a salon cape of her own, gathered around. And we all know it, said Zara. Even Honey, said Alejandra, as Honey wagged her tail excitedly. Oh, let me see. Oh, my goodness. Let me see. Let me go to one. Honey had run away. Honey tinkled on one of the girls' dresses, and she had run away. So, just as the girls stepped into the sidewalk, they noticed a little golden tail that looked awfully familiar across the street. Right there on Mrs. Peterson's doorstep was Honey, enjoying a newly opened bag of dog treats. And that's one of the things. I just love the color. I love the color in Harlem and the brownstones. All right. The girls had all chosen to wear different styles for the performance that night, but the only two ready to go were Jade and Chloe Chloe needed to leave. I need to go if I'm going to make it in time, but you guys aren't even close to being ready, said Chloe, panic rising in her voice. Don't worry, said Zara. You go ahead. We'll finish up here. But there isn't enough time for you to finish your hair. And Alejandra, said Chloe, who was beginning to think that the Sunshine Queens wouldn't come through. Zara knew Chloe was right. She didn't have time to finish Alejandra's hair and her own. Just then, Jade sprang into action. I'll take over with Alejandra. I have a few skills of my own, you know, she said with a wink. Thanks, Jade, said Zara with a smile before turning to Chloe. See, Chloe, we got this. Now go. Chloe peeked from behind the curtains. Where are they? Her performance was going to start any minute, and the 3 seats saved for her friends were empty. And as Chloe closed the curtain, she felt so alone and nervous. Chloe, said her mom, walking up from behind. I know you're nervous, but what do I always say? You say, get it done. You'll feel better after, she said, mimicking her mother's voice. But could she do it without her friends? Thank you for coming out, said the speaker. The show was starting, and Chloe was the first dancer of the night. The curtain opened, and right there in their seats were Jade, Zara, and Alejandra, who surprisingly had only two straight curls sticking up. Chloe laughed as they all waved and smiled. Even Honey, who just peeked above the seat, was there. Chloe's heart filled with sunshine, and it showed up as she danced across the stage, ending with a backflip. You were great, Chloe, said Zara after the performance. The best, said Jade and Alejandra. At that moment, Chloe noticed Zara's outfit. Oh, that's nice, girl. Thanks, said Zara with a slight twirl. Alejandra and Jade picked it out. A few seconds later, Honey was on stage in a tangle of lights. Alejandra shrugged, and laughed. The Sunshine Queens forever. The Sunshine Queens forever, they said in unison. The end. A little truncated. So I thank you guys. I thank you so much for supporting. Thank you, ladies, for coming out. I know you have to leave. And I thank you for supporting and purchasing the book and, and investing in your child or niece or whoever you got the book for in them. So thank you. I can't wait to do another one. And I'm open for any questions that anybody has. If you want to ask me anything. Okay. I'm going to get Kamaya. Kamaya, right? If you could stand up and say it really loud, Kamaya, because this wig is covering my ears. I can't hear nothing.
My question is, that book was short and,
Uh-huh.
and
You want it longer. Well, can I tell you something, Kamaya?
Yeah.
It's longer, but because there's so many people here, I didn't want to take all of the time to read it all. So when you get your book, you'll see it's much longer. So I did that for you. So it was only short tonight.
Oh.
I hope that's okay, Kamaya. Thank you.
Does anyone else have a question? Miss Shepherd, I love you so much.
Thank
and
you.
Will you be selling your books after this is over with?
Yes,
Okay. You be able to sign them too?
they are signed.
Okay.
They are signed already.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna get 2 from you.
Oh, thank you
I'm
very
a
much.
grandma of 8. So
Thank you very.
my grandbaby. I'm buying some more from you too.
I appreciate that.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
God bless you.
You too. God bless you too. Thank you. And thank you for your. Did you serve in the military?
Yeah, and 12 years ago, I was in Alaska. I've been on two missions. So I was in Alaska, and my book's coming out, so I'll be sending you a book.
Thank you for that. I'll be looking forward.
Thank
Thank you for your service.
Thank
you for your service.
One more thing. Google me on Google, Lisa Groves Veterans.
It's called what?
Lisa Groves, Groves, Veterans. Read about me.
Got you. Lisa Groves Veterans.
I'm in
Got
this chair, but I was in this chair 4 years ago, and because of lost surgeries, but I was on the highway doing some great things, and I still do great things from this chair.
He will use you. Oh, yes, young.
My name is Ryan, but I have a question. How did their friendship start in the beginning of the book?
Well, that's another book that I have to write about how their friendship started. I think it started in school. That in school they kind of found each other, because sometimes when you're in school, sometimes it looks like you may not have friends, but whatever you put out is, I believe, what is attracted to you. And so I tend to believe that they were in school and they just kind of were drawn to each other.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Sherri.
Thank you, Ryan.
I'm so glad that we just happened upon this event. I am Rosa, and one of the questions I have is regarding purchasing the books. Oftentimes we go to Barnes& and Noble or Walmart or something like that.
Yes.
But is there one place in particular we will buy the book
Yes.
and you get the proceeds?
Well, it's not. You know what? Yes, great that I make money, but the one thing I would say is support your independent bookstores because independent bookstores are having a rough time. It's and I'm not saying anything, against the big, those big ones. But the indie stores are the ones that put their heart and soul into it. Those are the mom and pop shops. What is the name of the bookstore that has the
Brave and kind.
Ray?
Brave and kind.
So the Brave and Kind bookstore, they have a ton of signed copies, and this is their 7th year. It is so hard for the independent booksellers because they're going up against these conglomerates who can ship the book to you the same day or drop it off. They throw it over the fence, knock it, break your window. Well, that's my story with. But if you can really support the independent booksellers and you can go online, you don't have to go. They're in Decatur. You don't have to go to the store, but they have some really lovely children's books, especially marketed and catered to us. It would be awesome because they need our help to stay in business because it's a hard thing going up against these, the big conglomerates. They have the ones where the kids can sit there and read. You remember when you would go to the library and you have to go to the Dewey Decimal System to find your book, the Dewey Decimal System? Remember when you had to do your book report, you had to go to the microfiche? You had to go to the microfiche machine to be sliding too fast. You had to return the card when you get the library card. So that's what the indie bookstores do. They have it so that the kids can sit and read. I remember when my daddy got my first library card, I was 5 years old. And every week I would go, and that's where my love of reading came from. I read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, the Hobbit series. I was into Harlequin romances, which, by the way, I'm writing a romance novel. And I'm not going to say it. I'm going to switch up. And it's got a lot of, all right. Yeah, if you know, you know. If you don't, ask your mama. But that's what my love of books, and you can't do that when you order them off those big booksellers. But when you go to an indie store, you can, and really develop the kids' love of reading, and it's so important. Is there any other questions?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm one of your #1 idols, but do you have it on ebook? Because a sister like me can't see, and I have to do it on ebook, even though I'm buying it for my granddaughter.
Okay, I didn't get to.
On ebook, will your book?
I
be
have
available?
Audible.
Okay, Audible. Yes.
I do have Audible. You said an ebook. I don't know. I didn't. I honestly don't know. You can put in Google Sherri Shepherd ebook.
Okay.
But if I don't, then I'll have to work on that.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely, I will work on that.
They don't do good. I'm a hard copy, but I'm visually impaired.
Okay.
For the vision impaired and the thing, there is something I believe on Amazon. Is it ESL? No, it's not ESL. Excuse me. I think there is something, but I'm not quite sure. But if there is not, I will work on that. Okay. Well, I never turn down being somebody's best friend. But if they don't, I will work on that. Most definitely.
We have time for 2 more questions.
Oh, did we get over here?
Hi, my name's Elena, and my question is, when will your next book come out, and what's the title of it?
The next book is Jeffrey and His Magic Turntable. That's the one that I'm working on. Well, first I got to get the book deal, but that's the next one I'm working on, and that probably will be next year sometime. And then there was one, a gentleman up in the front. Hi, sir.
Hi, Sherri. My name is Brian. I'm here with my husband, Jim.
Hello, Jim.
We watch you every day.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you for giving an uplifting hour at a time when this nation needs to laugh and
Thank
have
you.
some escapism. And that's what you do to so many people. And I recently underwent surgery twice this summer, fun summer. And I was in the pre-op room, and all of us went there, and we were all scared while they were hooking tubes up to us. And they had you on the TV, and everybody was laughing and all this, and I just saw people giggling in the pre-op room, and we were all laughing. So when they rolled me in and gave me something to feel good, I felt good because of you. Thank
Oh.
you.
I thank you for that. I've been very intentional with my show because those of you who follow me, I co-hosted The View for 7 years. We had to do politics. I learned a lot being on The View. And I said I've always wanted to have a show that made people feel better than when they came. And so when I'm standing behind the door and they're singing my real good time, I'm always praying. And always my prayer is the audience that is watching me through the TV screen and the audience that's my live studio audience. I always pray, God, show them that side of you that they probably don't get to see, which is the side of God that loves to laugh, that like he just can't stop laughing. Let them see that side. Touch them in that place of laughter and love, and bless them to see you in me. And everything that I do is I don't do politics because you can get it anywhere. And our bodies are not equipped to hold on to everything that is coming at us lightning fast. And you have to have places where you can go and just breathe. And that has been my intention. I do not, so when people want to come on with their books about different politics, I pretty much tend to say no unless I can find another angle. Like we had Vice President Kamala Harris on, and I really wanted to talk about her about, her and her dance team, and she was a captain of the dance team. But I'm very intentional about, I just want you to be able to laugh, because you have to be able to laugh in order to go and face the day. When they say it's medicine for the soul, that's absolutely true. So I thank you for that I was able to make you feel good before you went into surgery. Now, let me tell you something. It's hard to get a man when you're that damn silly. Oh, excuse me, sorry. And that's why Kamaya can't come to my comedy show. I'm so sorry. Oh, my goodness. That done stopped many a dates. I'm going to tell you, being that daggone silly. But thank you. Was there any other, if you stand up, ma'am, right here, right behind the woman with the, oh, it's two, I'm sorry. Behind the one with the camera, yes.
Hi, Sherri.
Hey.
My name is Constance Stone. My question for you is, first of all, congratulations on all your success.
Thank you.
Yes. I'm an author myself, actually, of children's books. I'm an author and an illustrator, and a lot of my stuff is independent. Haven't been able to really get it out there and get it noticed. So my question to you is, what advice do you have for creatives that are passionate about the message that they want to get out and just haven't really found the avenue yet?
Yeah, and haven't been able to go the way of having the agent and the third. I'm going to tell you what my Sunshine Queen, TJ, said to me when we were sitting there. And she kept saying, why are you asking for permission to have a talk show, Sherri? And I said, but that's the way you got to do it. You got to go through it. It's a network. They got to put it on TV. And she said, why do you keep asking for it? You think God gave you a gift? You got to ask somebody for permission? And I got the confirmation, because I said, you're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about, first of all. But we went back to her house, and I had written a book called Permission Slips, Every Woman's Guide to Giving Herself a Break. And TJ was moving to Atlanta. And she had left a box out for books, take them free. When we pulled in there, my book was at the top of in her box. And that was like confirmation that God had given me. And with that, it was hard work, but I had to research podcasting. And I did all my own researching, got my own LLC, did everything that I was supposed to. I never in a million years thought that we would win 3 NAACP Image Awards for this podcast, that just we were going to put it out. Kevin Hart wanted to produce it. Jamie Foxx wanted to produce it. Then COVID happened. Everybody disappeared. Kim and I had to do it ourselves from our house. I just would have never thought, and it's going strong now, this podcast. And people write us all the time saying, we got through COVID with your podcast. Now everybody wants to come on the podcast. So I would say to you, you don't need permission to do with what God has already written for you to do. You just have to walk in it and do it. And it's like this chess game with God. You make a move of faith, he makes the move of blessings. You make another move of faith, he makes the move of blessings. And if that is the superpower that he's given you to write and be an illustrator, make the book and take it to these independent people, because you don't need the agent. You don't need it's nice, but do it yourself and then let God elevate it. And that's what I would say to a creative. It's great that I have because the publisher is here, and I'm glad that they took a chance on this idea that I had. But had they not taken a chance, God would have still got it done, because the blessings that He has for you are exponential, and it's gotta bless other people. So therefore, He's gonna give you everything you need. I hope I'm not too preachy, but I don't do nothing without God being in the forefront of what I do. So I hope that helps, because you don't need that. You just need the gifts that He gave you to do it. And then, but tell everybody. Tell everybody about it, because you never know who's here, who goes, you know what, just come by the shop and read to the kids. And, didn't MC Hammer sell all his stuff out the trunk of his car? And that's what I would say to creatives. I got on stage with anybody who would listen to me do my stand-up comedy. I didn't care that I didn't get paid. I just wanted to be on stage and let people know. Now a headline. You got to pay me money to make you laugh. But when I started, so that's what I use that example of what TJ told me, because I just would have never in my wildest dreams. That was my talk show. Kim Whitley said, you came out of your mother's womb running your mouth. And I get to do it on a podcast every week, and we have not stopped. We can't stop because too many people rely on it. So if it helps you at any of what I just said, you're going to be in my prayers, most definitely. Come on my podcast. We'll interview you for the podcast. And our listeners, they buy because they trust Kim and I. So if you leave your information for Kevin and you have a book that we can say, go and purchase this book, they will do it. So come on my podcast. If you stand up and you have to be the last question, because I know they want me to sign the books. Yes, ma'am.
I'm an artist. I have a residency here, and it's been a wonderful experience. I have two questions for you.
Sure.
Number one, well, I know you said that. Instead of having my picture here, could I possibly have my picture with you up in my studio? That's number one. And number two, Sherri, I want to tell you, I have watched you so long, and your journey with Jeffrey. But the thing that I'm kind of still puzzled about was, that where you broke up with Lenny Kravitz.
Oh, Lenny Kravitz.
That was comedic genius, Sherri. I love that. And the classic line, it's not you, it's me. And I want to know, Sherri, I know you slipped him his number. Did Lenny ever call you?
There was another thing. Being a new talk show, it's hard to get people, big A-listers, to come on the show. And I have been, like, everywhere I was, I go, Lenny, can you go on my show? And he'd be like, yeah, whatever. And I said, you know what, Sherri, just talk about him all the time. I just would always talk about him. And what happened was, when you tell everybody what you want, people started sending him messages going, Sherri Shepherd wants you to come on her show. Sherri Shepherd likes you. So whatever video, he would do videos where he dances. So I do a video dancing too, and the fans would repost it to Lenny Kravitz. So one time we did a dance. It was a split screen of me dancing, and he called. He said, I want to come on the show. He called and said, I want to come on the show. And, it's so funny. He just was willing to play. He was willing to play. I didn't know what I was going to say when I sat on that couch. He smelled so good. And he just wanted to play, and so we did that, and he got on his hands and knees, and he nuzzled my neck, and it was great. And yes, I did give him my phone number, and he did call. It wasn't like to go out on a date, but he called. He went, I do a lot of talk shows, and I had so much fun with you. So, and I said, Lenny, I got you back up with black women, because black women, you need to thank me for that one, because he was like, Sherri, they're stopping me everywhere in the grocery stores. Because, Lenny do that rock music, and we know American Woman and the one he does to his mother. But I said, I got you back in the zeitgeist of black women. But thank you for that. And so, yes, we have a really great friendship. But I thank you that's one of my favorite episodes, and he always says, when can I come back on? I go, what, I'm going to break up with you twice? So thank you for watching that episode.
And we would like to thank everyone for coming. And did you all enjoy Sherri Shepherd?
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Yes, I was excited as well because this was actually my first time introducing. So, yes, thank you. And my mom watches you every day. And thank you all again. And we are looking forward to having you again. So pay attention to our FullCallLibrary.org website for up and coming events as well. Okay. Thank you again.
A little bit of housekeeping. My name is Bunny. I'm from Brave and Kind Books. We are just so honored to be able to celebrate. That's right. That's right. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for shouting out independent bookstores. It is so very important. Like you said, I mean, those other places, they'll kick your package up on the porch. It might make it up there and it might not. But every time you purchase a book from an independent bookstore, an angel gets his wings, and we do a happy dance, and that is that's 100% for sure. So we appreciate your partnership. We appreciate your community. We appreciate that you help us to continue to celebrate and elevate our stories. And so we're so honored to be able to bring Miss Shepherd and share her wonderful stories and the joy that she continues to create with you all. So thank you. Thank you for coming.